What's up, everybody? It's Connor from Unscripted, back again with another video. In today's video, we have some crazy CDL news and roster mania drama to talk about, and as always, we will be doing it off the script. So I wasn't planning on making a video until after tonight's matches. I planned on either having one up tonight or tomorrow morning, recapping the matches, talking about what happened like I usually do. But then I saw this news we're going to talk about, and I thought it was worth making a video about for sure, so I thought I better get on and make it quick before today's matches kick off, because I want to make sure I get to watch them. So, getting right into it, Crone from CDL Intel says on Decimate and Huke, Decimate is more than likely on a CDL team. Most obvious destination would be Seattle. So that's not a big surprise. Like I said, actually, just in this morning's video, there was some Seattle, Octane and their coach Nubsy and Octane's girlfriend were sort of hinting at a roster move for Seattle. And Fantastic Four was mentioned, a reference to the Challengers team, which features Decimate. So putting the pieces together led, pretty much everybody to believe that Decimate would be replacing Looney on Seattle. And according to Crone, that seems to be the case. Not a big surprise. They definitely needed to change. Decimate, a very good player with a high ceiling, so it's not surprising at all. Pair him alongside Prestini, who all of a sudden is playing like a madman. And they will definitely see the slaying power of their SMG players increase for sure. Here is someone replied to Crone saying that Huke and no, that's about the other one. Sorry, this is the one I wanted. Yeah. So Decimate and the enthusiast director of talent, who enthusiast owns Surge, also followed each other recently. So that is, I guess that's noteworthy, just because they didn't follow each other before. They now follow each other. They probably were talking at some points, forming a relationship. Piece everything together, and just given Seattle's performance, especially Looney's performance, and it's not hard to figure out. So I love this move for Seattle, assuming it goes through. And it's just funny. It's just the fact that he says Dece is more than likely on a CDL team. So not Dece is more than likely going to be signed by a CDL team. They're saying he's already on a CDL team. So it's got to be Seattle, and that's a good move for them. Like I said, it should raise their ceiling, definitely raise the slaying power of their SMG duo. And, if Gunless and Octane can keep playing pretty well, they could find themselves playing well enough to get into that top 8, heading in the chance for sure. I'm not sure if they're currently top 8 for the season. They might just be on the outside of that group looking in, but they're right there, and this move probably, in my opinion, raises their ceiling enough to get them into the top 8. But they might have some competition for that, because Florida is another team who I think they probably are in the top 8 right now, but they're fringe again. They're probably just barely in there, and this would be a roster move that would make them a very good team in my opinion. So Huke to Florida, I had heard earlier in the week, but no idea if they could agree on a buyout or not, if it was true. This coming from Crone again. And he says Hastro did mention he'd trade Huke to the team of his desire. So that would be a very, very good team. Like you see Enigma there replying. He says Huke, Nep, Wake, and Skies could be a major dark horse. Yeah, that team would be solid. I think not only, would Huke just make their second SMG player better. Obviously, Huke would become their best SMG player, definitely better than Havoc. But I think it would benefit Neptune a lot from playing alongside Huke as well, because not as much would be expected of him in the slaying department. He would just sort of be able to go crazy and roam a little bit. And plus, just beyond that, Huke is a really good guy to learn the game from. Whereas, Neptune, the talent is obviously there, but he's definitely still learning how to play competitive Call of Duty. Huke was in a similar boat, played Halo, came over to COD, became one of the better players in the world. So that would be a very good person for Neptune to learn from as he progresses into his career. And then Wake and Skies, Wake playing like one of the best players in the world. Skies, struggled a little bit to start the year for his standards compared to last year, but he's getting going a little bit too. So that roster move would make this team, I think, a legit contender. I thought coming into the year, even with Slack there, I thought they were a contender. And then Slack clearly was their weak link, holding them back a little bit. Skies was underperforming as well. And then they replaced Slack with Havoc, who I thought was a lateral move, and now it looks like Havoc's not going to get much of a chance longer, but who knows, because like Crone says here, they weren't sure if they could agree on a buyout or not, which that's probably, to me, wouldn't surprise me. That's the reason why Seattle wasn't after Huke, just because they probably didn't want to pay his buyout. I think Florida is a little bit more likely to spend a little bit more money, and also the fact that I would make the argument they, more so than Seattle, they would be made a more legit contender by adding Huke than Seattle would. So maybe for them, it's a little bit more worth it, whereas Seattle, it's like, okay, we had Huke, but there's still no guarantees because there are still some other inconsistent players on our roster. But with Florida, I think it does make them legit contenders, and I'm very excited to see this happen if it does. And this was the tweet I was showing earlier. Someone replied to the Huke and the Mutineer CEO followed each other recently too. Might be a coincidence, might not. It probably isn't. These things usually aren't coincidences. Things happen for reasons, and it's not really that hard to figure out why if you, dig in a little bit deeper. And then this was interesting too. Like Crone says here about Hastro did mention he'd trade Huke to the team of his desire. I like this, and just back away from the roster drama for a little bit. I just like the fact that there's actual legitimate journalism in Dallas covering their team. That's really cool, and I'm sure it will happen for other teams sooner than later, but it's really awesome to see, and I hope this trend picks up elsewhere because get this coverage on the CDL, and it will surely do good things for the team. You know, esports is a growing industry. It'd be awesome to have more coverage, actual legitimate journalism coverage like this from the Dallas News. But anyway, here's what they say. Make sure that you can see it. Yeah, okay. Envy Gaming owner Mike Rufael told the News on Monday that nothing is set in stone for the Empire and the recent move, of course talking about Fellow replacing Huke and Illy sliding to SMG, were Dallas to move on from Garland. Huke, Rufael said that he would trade him to a team of his desire. So there, Rufael confirms to the News that he is willing to trade Huke if he wants to move on. And then he says about a team that won a world championship was all of a sudden in shambles despite holding the second place spot in the CDL. So obviously, you know, Hastro is willing to do this. Crone says that, but we can definitely believe that part of the report because right here it is, you know, saying Hastro saying he would do this. And if that is Huke's team of choice, which looking at the team's realistic options for where Huke could go, though that team, LAG, Seattle, and Paris are probably the four that jump off right away off the page at me. I think Florida is by far the most attractive spot of those four. So if Huke wants to play, which there's no doubt in my mind he does want to play, and Hastro is willing to trade him to whoever he prefers, I would have to think Florida would be the most preferred team of those four options, and those are the most realistic options right now. So that is what it is. I mean, I hope Huke gets on Florida because I was cheering for them all year long. I really was high on them, and so far I've been wrong, but I think that move has the potential to turn them around in a hurry. That will make them a very good team. Tons of slaying power. It should be really good at search. That would be just a really fun team to watch. And now moving on from the roster drama, we have the second piece of news. Hex on the Optic pre-show talking to Big Timer, Zuma, and Karma. Sort of, I guess you want to say leaked. I think he did leak it that there should be LAN for Stage 4. However, there will not be fans. So basically, I'm not going to play the clip because I don't think the audio would capture correctly. I don't think I have it set up right. But basically, he was talking about the LANs and saying about, I think he said to Big Timer, not in Stage 3, meaning there won't be LAN at all this stage, which I was hoping at least the major would be. That seems like it won't be the case, but he did say that for Stage 4, there will be LANs with no fans. He said, then he went on to say, you know, in Stage 5 is when the Optic home series is supposed to be, or the Chicago home series is supposed to be. And Big Timer said about fans for that, and Hector said no fans. So basically Hector was like, he said that, and like he almost made it look like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have leaked it, but then he said it doesn't matter because you guys won't be there anyway, talking about fans. So he did say there won't be fans, and Big Timer was asking, he said, will there be fans? But then Hector said no, and Big Timer said, what, not until next year? And Hector said, no, I think maybe Champs. So Hector is still holding out hope that there will be fans at Champs, but he does not seem very optimistic or confident that we will see fans before Champs. So regardless, fans at any point is better than fans at no point. So even if we have to wait a long time to see fans, that's better than never. And also just the fact that they plan to go to LANs, that's awesome. The sooner the better for that. Like I said, I was hoping for the Stage 3 major, but I know that's only like, what, 2 or 3 weeks away. So there's, I guess, 2 weeks away. So there's not really that much time to plan that. But by the time, you know, there would be 2 more weeks, then I don't know how many weeks there are in between Stage 3 and 4, at least 1, maybe 2. So and then there's time to plan these LANs out, basically is what I'm saying. So they will have some more time to get the logistics behind things ready to go and ready to get these LANs for Stage 4. And I hope, I hope every match is on LAN. The league matches, everything, not just the major. But any LAN we get is better than no LAN, and right now we have no LAN. So I know we're all excited to hear this news. Fans will be awesome, but we will get there eventually. And either way, it's just awesome to see that these players will finally get to play on LAN. Hopefully take some of the flukiness out of this game, get some of these veterans who've been around the scene for a while back into it with their mentally, and I think just mental health in general, I think would improve from the players. I know this online league has been very hard on their mental health. A lot of them have talked about that, so it's great to see. It's better than nothing, and we wish it will be more, but it will eventually. But for now, it's a good start. So that's going to wrap up this video. I want to get it out quick before the matches start. They start in about 10 minutes here. So if you enjoyed the video and the news update, don't forget to leave a like down below. Leave a comment as well with your thoughts on, you know, the LAN, the roster moves, whatever. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to get more comments in general. I really like interacting with them. So let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're enjoying the CDL content and looking for more of it. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.